Trump has been flying around the country with far-right internet troll Laura Loomer, a 9/11 conspiracy theorist who Trump brought to a 9/11 ceremony yesterday.
It's great to have you, and you've been really very special. You work hard, and you are a very opinionated lady. I have to tell you that, and in my opinion, I like that.
Was Laura Loomer and Trump really having an affair? Saying you will laugh and cringe at the same time when you see Jon Stewart's take on this MAGA soap opera. Prepare yourself for an exciting journey into the world of Twitter feuds and conspiracy theories. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now back to the video. In relation to disastrous reality shows, Loomer's social media circus was the main event. Why is Donald Trump hanging around with this woman? Is a question that Jon Stewart might ask himself. You might laugh or cry when you hear the response. This time, Laura Loomer, who calls herself the most banned woman on the internet, has surpassed herself. On social media, she has been posting bombshells that make Trump's tweets seem like bedtime stories. Jon Stewart was compelled to challenge this political charlatan. Shall we begin with Loomer's greatest hits? Sheila Jackson Lee, she called her a ghetto beach. Nice, huh? But there's still more.
Here's what she said about Sheila Jackson Lee. After Sheila Jackson Lee died, she called her a ghetto bitch.
Regarding Kamala Harris, Loomer truly let her bigotry fly. She predicted that Harris's victory would smell like curry.
Women this way. Again, she tweeted, this is another one. If Kamala Harris wins, the White House will smell like curry. So another racist attack.
Furthermore, it seems that in Loomer's bizarre universe, Harris would handle speeches through call centers and gather input via incomprehensible surveys. Being the comic genius that he is, Jon Stewart was forced to draw attention to how ridiculous Trump's relationship with Loomer is. He joked, "Why is Donald Trump hanging around with this woman?" Asking the question, "Why does a bull hang out in a china shop?" is an exercise in futility. This is where things get really crazy, though.
It's great to have you, and you've been really very special. You work hard, and you are a very opinionated lady. I have to tell you that, and in my opinion, I like that.
Loomer attempted to use the oldest ruse in the book in response to criticism for her overtly racist comments. They were, she said, just jokes. Yes, and I'm merely the English queen. Stewart's response to this pathetic justification was hilarious. In essence, what he said was, nice try, but racism isn't a punchline.
You gotta get Trump, like the way they talk and their little DEI Shaniqua voices, and it's just very piercing, very irritating sound. They all have the same voice. I'm talking about Kamala Harris.
The entire Loomer debacle serves as a primer on how not to conduct politics. She seems to be competing to be named Trump's most offensive acquaintance. And that is some fierce competition, let's face it. The worst part is that Trump doesn't seem to care. He seems to be gathering contentious figures as if they were Pokemon cards. You have to get them all, right? This is not an isolated incident involving Loomer. It's a component of a larger trend within Trump's political network. They appear to be competing with one another in a game of who can say the most outrageous thing. As if Trump's political circus could not get any wilder, two of its top acts decided to take center stage. It's not pretty when Laura Loomer and Marjorie Taylor Greene are at each other's throats. What could possibly cause such a public breakdown of these MAGA megaphones? Now that the drama has intensified, gather around the popcorn, people. Everything began when Loomer chose to act as a comedian and make a joke about Kamala Harris's Indian ancestry. Warning. There was no humor. If Harris prevailed, she said, the White House would smell like curry. Nice, huh? But there's still more. Defending her racist remarks, Loomer claimed they were just humor, because it seems that calling racism a joke makes it acceptable. Well done, Laura. Let us introduce Marjorie Taylor Greene, the self-proclaimed conspiracy theory queen. You'd think she'd be all over Loomer's humor, but she wouldn't be. In fact, Green chastised Loomer for her remarks. It's amusing to watch, but also a little depressing to watch two bull elephants battle it out for the last peanut. However, Loomer was not going to accept that. She retaliated, denouncing Green as a raging anti-Semite and criticizing her personal circumstances.
Stop stealing my bit kind of way. I didn't even know there was a level of racist above Marjorie Taylor Greene.
They appear to be competing in the game. Who can be the most offensive? I can assure you that they are both succeeding. As the voice of reason in this circus, Jon Stewart couldn't resist pointing out the irony. Is Green, who is well known for her own contentious remarks, now taking on the role of the reasonable one?
And if you want an idea of just how extreme Loomer is, Marjorie Taylor Greene is calling her out for being racist.
Comparable to the pot calling the kettle black when in reality the kettle is a raging dumpster fire. But there's more to this Twitter spat than just two politicians vying for attention. It's a sign of a more serious issue with Trump's MAGA movement. These people can no longer even agree on what constitutes appropriate behavior. They all seem to be vying to outdo Trump, and the outcome is anarchy. Green even cautioned Loomer that Trump's reputation might suffer as a result of her antics, because, Trump's image is both extremely fragile and immaculate. It's similar to worrying about a ding on a vehicle that has participated in a demolition derby. What does Stewart think of all this chaos? In essence, he's saying, observe the transformation of Trump's political circle. This group of individuals is incapable of managing a nation, much less playing nicely in a sandbox. Trump's political circle appears to have about as stable a future as a Jenga tower during an earthquake. In the political circus that is Trump's circle, Laura Loomer recently entered the center ring. However, her presence alongside Trump at a 9/11 memorial has many wondering, is this a redemption story? Or is this just another farce? You should listen to Jon Stewart's hilarious observations about this unlikely pair, I guarantee it. Imagine this, Laura Loomer, the queen of conspiracy theories, and Donald Trump show up at a 9/11 memorial.
A fantastic woman, a true patriot, Laura Loomer. Laura, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Laura.
It's like being at a science convention and seeing Bigfoot. You don't know if you should laugh or cry. Being the comic genius that he is, Jon Stewart was compelled to try his hand at this political piqué. Loomer is currently working as quickly as he can to dispel reports of an affair between him and Trump by tweeting, "No collusion!" Folks, she is all about that life of hard work. She stated that some of us women have no desire to have sexual affairs with politicians or men with elite political status to climb the ladder. Yes, Laura, that's precisely what we were all thinking. This is where things get really crazy though. Loomer is now frequenting 9/11 memorials after previously speculating that the attacks were the product of an inside job.
A 9/11 truther at a 9/11 ceremony. Is that like an atheist going to Easter Mass? Well, I don't believe in any of this. Trump has been flying around the country with far-right internet troll Laura Loomer, a 9/11 conspiracy theorist who Trump brought to a 9/11 ceremony yesterday.
It resembles a flatlander going to a NASA launch. How did Stewart respond? Funny as hell. In essence, he's saying, hey, remember when this lady believed that 9/11 was a hoax? She is now acting casually about it at the memorial. The entire scenario resembles a masterclass on how to mishandle your public persona. Trump is interacting with a person who has been banned from more platforms than a misbehaving child at Chuck E. Cheese. It's calling into question the kind of company he keeps. With friends like these, really, who needs adversaries? Hold on, things get better. In her infinite wisdom, Loomer concluded that disparaging Kamala Harris would be the most effective way to protect her reputation. How does Jon Stewart view all of this? It's similar to witnessing a slow-motion crash of a clown car. Even though you know it will be a mess, you can't help but stare. He is basically advising us to treat these political figures with the same caution you would exercise. Remain at a distance and consider carrying a fire extinguisher when approaching a dumpster fire. The entire Loomer-Trump situation resembles a subpar reality TV program. You have enough drama to make the Real Housewives look pale in comparison, along with your contentious star and scandalous rumors. As if things couldn't get any more ridiculous, Loomer goes on to say that she was just a guest at the memorial, since that's completely typical, right? What then is the issue with Trump's bizarre universe? It's a mess, as Jon Stewart has been dissecting it. Loomer's offensive remarks and her conflict with Green give the impression of a political circus gone wild. Trump, too? He is the mastermind behind this entire operation. But Stewart isn't just joking around. He is drawing attention to how absurd it is that these people are active in political circles. It's like witnessing a group of clowns attempt to govern a nation. Funny, yes, but a little frightening, too. The worst part is this. Stewart wants us to consider carefully who we back. Do we really want these individuals in leadership roles? It's no longer just about having fun. It concerns our politics' future. Therefore, consider this the next time you watch a Trump show. Is this really what we want for America?